Good morning, all. People are still joining, so I'm waiting for them to join so we can start our session. Meanwhile, could some of you or one of you confirm if you can hear me well and see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay, great. I see Isaac bhai, your mic is not connected.
Yes,
Neha, your mic is not connected. Check if you guys are able to uh, speak. If you have any question, please feel free to ask, guys. I'm still waiting for others to join. Only 7 people have joined, so we are waiting for a minute or so. Meanwhile, guys, do you have any questions on virtual machine scale set or any topic for that matter? So should I consider at least you 7 people? You do not have any question and all topics are clear for you?
Yes, sir.
Sohail bhai, I have only one question.
Hmm,
Actually, yesterday I was not there, but I completed the session yesterday night.
hmm,
So I have only one question that was in the scale out.
hmm,
So as if the threshold increases by 50%, for example, and
hmm,
it the automatically the server is getting created over there.
hmm.
So in other servers, the applications will be also get automatically installed in that, or how they are connected to each other then.
No, we haven't covered that
S-
yet.
s- Okay, okay, no
Don't
problem,
worry, we'll do that. You didn't
no
miss
problem,
anything. We haven't covered that yet. We're going to do that. First,
no
we are
problem.
learning availability zone. Then we are learning availability set. We are
Set.
learning, yeah, we are learning availability set, availability zone. We are learning virtual machine scale set. But as I told you, in isolation, none of these is a complete solution to your business problem. None of these is a complete IT solution, and these won't be called as a highly available system. So there are some more components which we are going to learn where you will learn how to combine them, how this data will sync. Though we won't focus much on data sync because that is a very a small task, I would say, and you are not responsible for that. So we will see what are your responsibilities to combine these components and then make it a complete high availability solution. Yesterday, even if you missed and you saw the recording, you must have uh, seen this example where I was asking that if I have multiple servers, how will I make sure that all are connected to same application or all users are
Yes.
connected to this? So we are going to learn that how to combine them, or to be precise, what we are going to learn is how to give them one face. Now these machines, be it in availability zone, there will be multiple machines. Availability set, there will be multiple machines, or scale out or scale up. Scale up में तो एक ही machine होगा, that's fine. Scale out and under VMSS, that will also
Mhm.
have multiple machines. So precisely the syncing part is, it's not our hectic. Application team takes care of that. Still, I'll show it to you. In fact, that we are going to cover it today. That what are the methods जिससे syncing part cover हो जाता है, and the core concept we are going to learn, it's how to give all these machines one face. That at least public face should be one. Backend में मैं 10 machine चला लूंगा, but public face should be one. So it will be easier for my users to access, to type an IP address or do anything. Otherwise, ऐसे 10 machine बनते होगे, delete हो गए, तो how will my users know? Be it availability zone or availability set or virtual machine scale set. Okay, so do you haven't missed anything, Ajay? Don't worry, we are going to cover that.
No problem. Thank you so much for that.
I'm still waiting for one or two more people to join. Meanwhile, if anyone has question, please let me know.
So Halbay Sattar here. I missed yesterday class completely. I will go through the recordings today and I will cover up.
No worries, Satar bhai. Please do ask if you have any questions after that.
Sure.
Anyone else? What about Faisal bhai? I hope you have been asking questions, so I hope that this is being clear to you. Uh, Ibrahim, bhai, how about you? Rishikesh? Yeah. Leo, I hope this is clear for you. Leo, I hope this is clear to you also. You have been asking some questions. Mansha, Neha, Priyakant, Shikha. What about you guys? I'm just waiting for others to join. I will take 1 more minute. Meanwhile, just want to check if you guys have any questions. Yusuf, do you have any questions or is it clear to you? Wakar,
No, Sohail bhai, no, clear for me.
Suraj, how about you? It's clear to you?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, great. Great. Okay, guys, 1 more minute and then we'll start.
Sohail bhai, I have one more question.
Yes.
Regarding the last session where we have created multiple four machines in high availability. So while doing that, I done some mistakes, and after your suggestion, it was cleared. But I have one question. Is it we can change the high availability and create the machines in other zones where high availability are available,
First thing,
or
what do
we
you mean
should
by
we
high
have to
availability?
where we can host the machines. For example, if we get a request for 4 machines or 5
Hmm,
machines
hmm,
and the high availability is not there. So
hmm,
I have created, say, for example, 3 machines
hmm.
and 2 machines are not available. So can I change that to the different zone uh, instead of creating other 3 in the same zone?
I got your question very clearly, Satar bhai. But just to grill you or just to know, for the learning purpose, what do you mean by high availability? How many
High
types of high
availability,
availability are there?
high availability is nothing but in that zone uh, not a zone m- in that we can create the machines, we have to create the machines in the same zone, high availability, so that users can access the machine from the same availability.
Not really, Satar bhai. See, guys, that is the reason I tell you to read the answers also. I'm pretty sure the concept of high availability is very clear to Satar bhai. The only problem I see here, he's not able to explain. Can someone explain it to me? What is high availability? Sadar bhai, I'll answer your question. I understood
Okay.
your answer. As far as I understood, you're talking about availability zone, right? In
Yes.
high availability, there is availability zone, there is availability set, there is virtual machine scale set. So if you say high availability, what will I understand? How will I understand? What your interviewer will understand if you only say high availability. If you say that in high availability, I can have machine in multiple zones, but interviewer was thinking about availability set, and then he would think, यार availability set में multiple zone कहाँ से आ गए? Are you getting the point? So be
Yeah,
very
yes.
specific. Do not call it high availability. You're talking about availability zone, talk about it. If you're talking about availability set, say it clearly. If you're talking about virtual machine scale set, refer it clearly. So I presume that you were talking about availability zone here, right?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. So be it availability zone or availability set. If you're creating a new machine, you can add a machine to that zone or set. Let's say you have four
Got it.
machines already, 5 machines. Some machine went down and you're replacing that machine, or maybe you're keeping that machine also and then just adding one more. So yeah, there is a scope that you can always edit and remove machines from the zone and set. Okay. But to others also, guys, please make sure that you do read definitions. I'm telling you this many times because this is important. Trust me on this. We have been doing interviews. Many of you guys here in this batch also, 2 or 3, they have attempted interview. 2 of them physically attempted this from my class, right? And no one has ever in the interviews where I have conducted those interviews, where people have given interviews from my class online or from anywhere, mock interview anywhere, no one has shared the screen and asked you to create an availability set or availability zone. or virtual machine, or for that matter, any question. No one has given that practical that, okay, please share your screen and show it to me. Do that. Or I am sharing my screen, show it to me. That happens only in coding interviews. So if that is not happening in your interview, the only method to judge your knowledge an interviewer has is asking questions. So that's what they are going to do. Even if Sattar Bhai is no Sattar Bhai knows everything about high availability, availability zone, and availability set, but if he or any other person is not able to explain that in interview, then it will be difficult for interviewer to onboard you or to clear that round, because they also have to answer somewhere. Even if he understands कि सामने वाले का concept clear है, but if that person is not able to answer, recording में नहीं आएगा. And most of the time, I'm not talking about all the companies, I don't know about all the companies, but most of the time all companies, they will have some sort of let me share. Okay, you guys can see my screen, right? Guys, you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Yes, Sohail bhai.
Yes.
Yes, Sohail bhai.
Okay, so similarly, like something like this, see, we do get an interview feedback form. No, not exactly like this, but there you have, in some companies, they have exact technical questions also, that these are the questions you have to ask, and you have to just mark how was the answer given. Was it one word? Was it explanatory? Was it good? Was it bad? That's all you have to mark. Interviewer sometimes doesn't even select. They don't even have that right कि ठीक है ये कैंडिडेट को मैं select करके जा रहा हूँ और reject करके जा रहा हूँ. No, they just have to fill the form. I asked high availability. Was the answer given in detail? Was example added? Something like this. Sometimes questions are given to them, sometimes topic are given to them कि networking topic पे आपने please ask 5 questions on networking topic and how many of them were answered correctly. So this is the base, or this is the mechanism they are using, right? So even if you convince the interviewer that you know the concept, you have worked, that is not going to help you. You will have to explain it to them. It has to be voiced, it has to be in recording, it has to come on paper. Then only you're getting your next round. Is it clear to everyone, guys?
Yes, Sohail bhai.
Don't just focus on practical. I'm not saying practical is not important. Definitely it is important. That is the only place which will give you learning. In fact, I have asked all of you to go ahead and explore that support section. I'm not sure how many of you are doing that and how many of you are not doing that as of now, but make sure you do that. That is the only place you are learning things, you're learning scenarios. So make sure that you go ahead and you do that support wala part also. But with that, along with that, it is equally important that you read these questions. How else do you think an interviewer is going to evaluate you unless you answer these questions? And that's the only method they have. It's nothing against you, but that's the only method. They do not have any technology where they can put a camera in your brain and see what he knows about cloud. No, the only method, it has to come from your mouth. It has to be voiced. So even if some person knows what is high availability, and if you're not able to explain it, that what is high availability, what is availability zone, what is availability set. Also, I've been telling you that this is not high availability completely. This is just a one component of high availability. Now, how to put a face to this? Like in availability zone, we'll have 3 or 5 or 10 servers in different zones. In availability set, we will have 3, 10, 5 servers in different availability set, in different fault domains and update domains. In virtual machine scale set, we will have multiple machines, but all these are still not a complete high availability feature. We will have to give it a face, so users can only go to one website, only go to one IP, and then behind that we should divide all these forces, all these machines. Then that is a complete high availability. So even if you explain this, if the question was, tell me something about high availability, or what do you know about high availability, so if you talk about only this, that is not the complete answer. So that is what I'm trying to say, that you have to explain everything. Okay, so I hope you guys will do that. Take that seriously, guys. Those questions, and I have already given the questions. Literally, these are the questions they have been asked. See, TMF group. This is the second latest interview we had. This was done from my class. Yeah, it was an offline interview. And after this, I told you day before yesterday there was an interview that was for Mindtree. I will soon ask that person to share those questions with me, or I'll do it myself and I'll update those questions here. See, these are the exact questions that what they have asked. And if you go through these questions, you will understand. This is the architecture question, so you can ignore that. These are the questions. You will understand that most of the questions are are just around these topics what we have been discussing. So you just have to read them properly, and that's all. Okay. So let's go ahead, guys, and start. Do we have Hussein here? Hussein, have you joined? Okay. So guys, we were discussing virtual machine scale set. Anyone has any question before we start the practical? As of now, I am just showing a virtual machine scale set, how to create that. I'm not putting any software here there on that machine to increase the CPU load and everything. That we'll do in next practical. I mean, back to back, we are going to do that. But today, most of the part we are spending in practical. So anyone has any questions, guys?
No, sir.
Okay. Sadarbai, do you want me to show that practical, how to add a machine to virtual machine scale set or zone, or do you think you got it clearly?
Sohail bhai, I got it clearly.
Okay, great.
After your suggestion, I can create now.
Okay, great, great. Don't hesitate, guys. If you're not able to do something, try first. Okay, don't ask me to do it directly without trying, obviously, because that then you're not learning anything. But try first. But still, if you're not able to do it, ask me to do that practical and I'll show it to you. I'll make sure that we get that in recording, so it will be useful for you and for others also. Okay, so now let's get started.
Sohail bhai,
Yeah.
I have one question. Sorry for interruption.
No
Say, for
problem.
example, when we are creating the machines, is it we have to create the machines in the same high availability zone, or if it is not allowing us, for example, when I've created, I can see only the 4 machines can be created, but we got a request for 6 machines. So we can change the high availability zone?
No,
Or
you
should we
can't.
have to inform the user
No,
while creating? We can see only 4 machines are available in this zone, high availability. So can you suggest to which zone we can create?
yes,
Is
second
it
option. Second option. You never decide.
second
You
option?
you never change zones. You never change, because billing is dependent on that zone. Sometimes some features are available in some zone. Some features are not available in some zone. So you don't decide that. You always put it to the user.
To the user. Okay, got it.
Okay. Okay, guys. So how, can someone guide me how to create a virtual machine skill set? Uh, let me pick. We can take one by one step. And today we are doing practical. Most of the time we are spending in practical, guys. Amit Sathe, can you guide me?
Yes, sir.
Hmm.
So first we have to create like virtual machine scale set. So
How?
for that we have
Yeah.
to navigate to the search option. Like in the search we have to type VMSS,
Okay,
or in all services, like there is an option like compute,
got it.
and from
Ultimately,
there
where
like
am I?
you can get an option for VMSS.
Okay, great. I'll click on
Then
create.
create.
Yeah, that's okay.
Yes.
That's okay. That's enough, Amit. I'll ask someone else now.
Okay.
Ibrahim, bhai, could you tell me what will happen if I select multiple zones here, or if I don't select zone? Could you explain this part?
Uh, Selecting multiple zones gives us redundancy. Like if you select one zone, you can create the virtual machines in one zone. Multiple zones will allow us to create VMs in different zones.
Good. So in this one, guys, I don't want any redundancy as of now. Okay, or let's take redundancy. Let's take 3 zones. This one I said we'll always go with uniform. Rest we don't have to worry about it. As of now, we are not going ahead and putting any software and increasing the CPU load. We are not doing that right now in this practical. Hence, I'm going to stick with Linux. Later on, I'll do it with Windows, so I can show it to you guys literally. Windows has some GUI graphics which will be easier for you guys to understand. So next practical, we are going to do it with Windows. And I will suggest the same thing to you. When you are just doing a practical just to see VMSS, use Linux. It's okay, simple OS. But when you want to do the actual exercise where you want to increase the CPU load and see how the new machine is being created, use Windows. Rest is up to you. You can do that in Linux also. Size as of now, does it matter? Do we have any issues with size? Or practical, is it depending on the size कि ये size लेना चाहिए तभी practical होगा नहीं होगा? Yes, yes. Any dependency
No.
on size when we are performing? Yes, no. Okay. Spot, I will explain it to you later. We can leave it now. Disk. Okay, guys, before we go ahead there, wanted to cover one quick topic I have written here. We missed that, I would say, in disk section. Let's quickly cover it. Shared disk. What is the shared disk? Do you want me to cover this here or complete the virtual machine skill set first and then explain shared disk? Let's complete the VMSS. Let it get in recording first. So disk section also leave it completely. That is optional, by the way. Okay, VMSS has nothing to do with your disk section. So I am putting it as disk. If I have to attach the disk, I can create here. I hope all of you remember all these options, right? Create and
Yes.
create and attach a new
Yes,
disk.
sir.
Right? We have done that. Networking we haven't touched yet. So whatever comes here, let it be. Very important topic, guys, networking though. Load balancer option, guys, even if you see it here, make sure you select it none. We're going to do it later, but as of now, make sure that you select it as none. Otherwise, आपका बहुत सारा practical खराब हो जाएगा. You won't even understand what did you do. Make sure you select it none for now. Scaling. Rishikesh, what do you mean by this initial instance? If I keep it 2 or 3, what will happen?
I think that minimum it should be 2 initial instance count. Or I will say that we are creating like a support VM scale set.
No, whatever it is. My question is, if I select 3 here, what does it mean? इसका output कहाँ दिखेगा मुझको and what will be the output? And guys, do not use words like I think, I guess. Interview में यहाँ पर is fine. Use it, whatever you want. यहाँ पर कुछ भी चल जाएगा. Interview में don't do that. In your interview, be firm about your answer. Say it's definitely like that. I'm sure Microsoft suggests that. It is one of the Microsoft's recommendation. It is there in their article. It is there in their well architecture framework. Something like this. I mean, be firm with your answers. Someone else, Suraj, what does it mean? What when I say initial instances count 3? What does it mean?
It means that 3 VMs will be deployed when you create and review.
Correct. Salman bhai, what does it mean when I say manual? We'll come to custom later. If I see it, if I keep it manual, what will happen? Faisal bhai, can you hear us? Can you hear me? Now wait, Ajay, I've seen your hand. Let me see. Yusuf bhai, can you hear me?
Yes, Sohail.
What does it mean when I select manual?
Manual means it's need manual intervention.
Okay, so if I start this now, I will have initially 3 instances, right? That's what the first sentence says. That's what Suraj explained. Suraj said that if I selected 3 here, I will have 3 machines initially. And if I'm selecting manual here, so I will have a virtual machine scale set of 3 machines, right? But
Yes.
later on, how will I increase? How will I get some alert or something? How will that happen if I keep it manual?
No, that's why we need to select custom.
No, I don't want to go for custom. I want to keep it manual.
I don't know.
That's okay. That's completely fine. Okay, guys. I thought so. Okay, थोड़ा सा confusion आने वाला है. Guys, this condition, this is not for alert. Okay, this condition is to increase your machine or decrease your machine. Alerting system, it's completely different. अलर्ट के लिए आपके पास सॉफ्टवेयर्स होते हैं. अलर्ट के लिए आपके पास सोलारविंड का सॉफ्टवेयर होगा, नागियोस होगा, और Azure एडवाइस, Azure का खुद की मॉनिटरिंग, काफी सारे टूल्स है, थर्ड पार्टी, बहुत सारे टूल्स है. ओके, सो अलर्ट सिस्टम इज डिफरेंट and this scaling system is different. So even if I keep it on manual using some third party tool, one of them is SAM, or you can call it SolarWinds. Here, I'll show it to you. If you just want to stick to that, you can stick to that also. Or there are many tools. Just search like how many tools are there for something like this. SolarWinds SAM. So this application, and while creating servers, it's a standard method that 10 or 12 applications you have to install. So this is one of them if your company is using SAM. So what SAM does, SolarWinds SAM, SolarWinds Server Application Monitor. Okay, SolarWinds is the company name, SAM, Server Application and Monitor. They're one of the products. They have many products. One of them is SAM. Why am I focusing this one? So you can say it in your interview, take names of tools. It gives the weightage that how you have really worked. Okay, so this tool, what does it do? Simultaneously, it will keep checking your server for all the details. कोई पोर्ट चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा है, कोई नेटवर्किंग पोर्ट खराब हो रहा है, बैटरी इशू क्या है, पावर इशू क्या है, बैटरी एज इन आई मेंट लिथियम बैटरी. ओके, पावर सप्लाई का क्या इशू है, एनीथिंग एंड एवरीथिंग हेल्थ मॉनिटर ये करता रहता है कंटिन्यूस. एंड इसमें भी आपके जो है कुछ ये लगे होते हैं, बेंचमार्क लगे होते हैं, that if threshold of CPU goes 50% and beyond, if threshold of RAM goes 50% and beyond, but this software, it cannot do anything. ये आपके लिए कोई नया सर्वर वगैरह कुछ नहीं बना सकता है. This can only monitor and send emails to a dedicated email ID, whatever it is, a DL, किसी टीम का DL होगा, शेयर मेल बॉक्स होगा, मल्टीपल लोगों के ईमेल एड्रेस हो सकते हैं, और फिर या आपके पेजर ड्यूटी या आपके सर्विस नाउ या जेरा टिकटिंग टूल का ईमेल एड्रेस हो सकता है. It will send an automated email to that and a ticket will be created. Did you get the concept, guys, of SolarWinds SAM or any software like this? How does it work? Then I'll come back to the. Okay, so you will have these sort of softwares. With the help of those sort of softwares, you are going to get alerts कि आपके इस virtual machine scale set का और इस machine का जो है utilization 85% and above हो गया. And then you will go ahead and increase the instance manually. So just because you're not doing it custom, that doesn't mean that you won't get the alert. This manual and custom, it's only for the machine increase and decrease. It has nothing to do with your alerts. That's what I wanted to make clear. So is it clear to everyone?
Yes, Sohail.
Yes, sir.
So now, as of now, let's go to custom. Manual, I'll show it to you. बहुत easy है manual. कुछ करना ही नहीं है. Manual, we can change the custom to manual later, और उसके बाद मैं बता दूंगा manual कितना easy है. So initially, I am saying 3. Minimum, I am saying 1. So what does it mean by when I say minimum? Initial 3 and minimum 1. What does it mean? Who can tell me? Ishaq bhai? What do you understand by this minimum number of instance?
Minimum instance means 1 VM.
Yeah, minimum I'm selecting 1. So what does it mean? 3 से 1 कब हो जाएगा then? होगा नहीं होगा या initial 3 है तो हमेशा 3 होगा? What do you understand by 1? I'm saying minimum 1 चाहिए, but at the same time I'm saying it should start with 3. So when will it go down? That's okay. Ajay, what do you understand by this? Minimum 1.
Yeah, initially at the initial stage while creating VMS, there would be 3 machines, but in the minimum number of instance, there is 1. If the threshold is less than take an like let's take an example of 25% and no one is working on it, no user are using, then in that case we will be getting only 1 machine at a time
Perfect.
and
Right.
2 will be removing.
Right. So guys, we'll start with 3, but this condition, whatever it is, if it is 25, 20 or anything, if it goes beyond 25, then even if we started with 3, but उन 3 में से भी machine decrease होना शुरू हो जाएंगे, and it will stop till the time we have 1 machine. If I keep it 2, it will stop till the time we have 2 machines. So that is your minimum number of instances. One quick thing, Ajay, do not mention about active user. Okay, that is a different concept completely. Then active user or engaged user or not. We are simply talking about threshold. There, the moment you say active user and number of users, एक और threshold add हो जाता है. You will have options जहाँ पे आप number of users पे भी कर सकते हो, but that is not here. So don't mention anything ऐसा कुछ जिससे cross question आ जाए. So just stick to threshold, CPU threshold. अभी 25% CPU threshold अगर एक user भी, let's say that only one user has logged into that server, he is rendering the 10 GB video. Okay, तो ये 75% वैसे ही achieve कर लेगा. We won't require 1000 users to achieve that. Right? And maybe there are 2000 users, but they're not doing anything. They're just logged in and sitting on idle position. So this 25% वैसे ही achieve हो जाएगा. So the lowest part and the highest part of your CPU or RAM, it has nothing to do with number of users. So don't ever say number of users or number of connectivity. That will take you to another concept and another questions will come. So always stick to threshold. Our threshold कैसे आ रहा है? Let's say 0 user has logged in और कोई inbuilt process है ना, उसी से ये चल रहा है. Let me show my task manager to you. It's not always users जिनकी वजह से आपका CPU चलता रहेगा. Now if you see my CPU, good question, Ibrahim. We'll come to that. Okay. So now if you see memory, let me, here it is. Google Chrome, fine. Being a user, I'm using it. Zoom being a user, I'm doing it. But this one, I'm not using it. It is still consuming my 3.9 memory. Desktop viewer manager, I don't know what it is, but it is still consuming my memory. See, there are many applications which do consume memory and CPU at backend. So it has nothing to do with user. Most of the time you will see some process, some application is running in the background, seeing 0 user, and the still threshold is more than 75, right? So do not consider users here. Do not count about users. Okay, so I hope this is clear. Initial instance, this is clear. Minimum,
Yes.
I don't have to explain. Maximum, I hope all of you understand what do you mean by maximum. That no
Yes.
matter किस तरह का load है, कुछ भी है, it will not go beyond 10. Maximum machines you will have 10. CPU threshold, let's keep it to 75%. Duration, we'll make it 5 minutes. In ideal situation, it will be 10 minutes. Okay. I told you कि ideal भी क्या होता है. For practical, I want to keep it 1 minute, but let's say if it is possible. See, it is not. What does it say? The value must be an integer between 5 to 60. These are minutes. कि मतलब ये 75% का CPU threshold ऐसा नहीं होगा कि 1 मिनट के लिए हो गया तो create a new machine. No. It has to be minimum 5. In ideal situation, you will say 10 minutes, but I want to practice here. I don't want to wait for 10 minutes. 10 minutes ideal system को देखते बैठेंगे. We'll waste our time. So I'm keeping it 5 minutes. That is a minimum thing. Number of instances increase by. Now don't get confused between this and this. This is the maximum number I'm saying. I should have 10. बट बढ़ने कितने से चाहिए, मतलब if this happens, CPU threshold 75% होता है, it stays for 5 minutes, कितने मशीन बढ़ने चाहिए? So I'm saying increase by 2. CPU threshold 25 के नीचे जाता है. Now we have done scale out, तो scale in भी तो होना चाहिए, right? We will not keep on working with multiple machines and pay extra. So CPU threshold, if it goes beyond 20, 25, in this case I'm keeping it 15 just to see our practically easily. Number of instances should decrease by, you can keep any number if you want, but mostly it is 1. No one wants to quickly machine shut down kar lo baad mein fir se error aaye. No one wants that. Now this CPU threshold, one question Ibrahim bhai put, that's very good question. I was expecting someone to ask that question कि यहाँ तो मैं बोल रहा हूँ ठीक है, the duration is 5 minutes, कि अगर 5 मिनट तक 75% होता है, okay, 5 minutes तक 75% होता है, then another machine should go create another 2 machines. But this CPU threshold 15 minutes के नीचे जाता है, so where is the duration, कि कितनी देर तक वो रहना चाहिए 15% के below? Did you guys get the question?
Yes.
That we are going to
Yes.
see now. The almost is very, the answer is very clear. It's almost same number here, but we'll see that now. यहाँ पर 5 मिनट है तो वही अप्लाई हो जाता है यहाँ पर. Okay, this one I explained it to you. Now in this case I am creating 3 machines. Let's say this machine is going to zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, again zone 1, zone 2, zone 3, zone 1, zone 2, zone 3. इस तरह से आपके machines divide हो गए. Now when it comes to deleting, so one is the newest and oldest, it's self-explanatory. I am not explaining it to you again, you guys can read it. Balance across availability zone, what do you understand by that? Balance across availability zone, matlab if this is the availability zone they have, like this, 3 है suppose, sorry for the diagram guys. So it won't happen कि ये तीनों मशीन वो यहीं से डिलीट करना शुरू कर दे, एक इसको डिलीट कर दिया, एक इसको डिलीट कर दिया, एक इसको डिलीट कर दिया. What will happen, किस तरह का अवेलेबिलिटी, किस तरह की हाई अवेलेबिलिटी पे मैं ये कर रहा हूँ compromise. Let me erase this. So let's say my virtual machine scale set, I have total 9 machines as of now. One machine, and I've selected zonal. You remember we select 3 zones over there? Yes guys, initially we selected 3 zones.
Yes.
So
Three
initial
zones,
instance,
yes.
I'm saying initial instance, I'm saying 3 machines. So what do you think? Is this the correct scenario for 3 machines, or do you think all 3 machines will go to this zone?
This is the
The
correct
diagram
because
that
we
you
have
created,
selected
that is
three
correct
Correct.
one.
zones.
Fine, fine. Now 70% threshold has crossed. 4th machine is appearing. Where will it go?
In the first
First
one.
one.
Simple. 5th here. Guys, only 1 minute is left. We are joining the session without any break. I won't be uploading videos today. I don't have proper bandwidth, so I will be converting them later. We'll start the session without any break using the same link. Only less than 1 minute is left. Okay, I hope you understood this. Now next machine will come here, here, and here. Maximum were 10, but I settled on 9. Okay, 9 machines were created. Clear till here?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, sure.
Let me stop the session. We'll start without any break. Same link.